What's this letter, Dad?
Unwrap it.
There's a letter inside?
It was delivered after you left, in the mailbox the very next day. I kept it for you all this time. She said to tell you it was her first letter she officially delivered.
It says it's from Tef.
Before she left for her post.
Next time on Ever's After, Tef's first letter. I made her promise that summer. Snow, sleet, and an early dispatch order couldn't keep her away. I read the letter in our old clubhouse. She said she wished me well, wished we could have said goodbye. I came back to find my home, but it seems like all I'm finding is regrets.
It's for my heart, Bulp. I have to keep my blood circulation active.
This will kill Dad if he finds out. Maybe you should have thought about that before you came back. Like this.
It's not what you think.
I lost you down a foxhole once, and now I'm losing you down a needle too?
You gonna bring Mom back this time, Sam?
Bulp!
You know what? Don't even waste your breath lying about how hard you tried.
You're my brother. She's my mom too. Of course I looked for her. Don't talk about the front like you were there.
That was a thrilling episode of Ever's After. Wow. Just wow. That was dynamic in the way they accomplished those things. Wow. Next up, a pulsing jumpstart to your rundown heart. Radiation Ships is now on WSPN. The Spoon.
Carabineers and croakers, squatters, trappers, and merchants, settlers and survivors, to all you radheads out there in Radiation Nation, this is an emergency broadcast to your heart. Further instructions incoming. We are live from our EBS compound, an undisclosed location deep in the lines of the Sadlands. Our hearts pure, our backs strong, and our eyes shielded from the glare of the bone waste. I'm Rad Flink, with me, the Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Radiation Ship. Professor, how are you?
Things are well.
Good. You know, I thought today we might take a little different tack. We've got a few callers recently. While we do primarily try to focus on relationship and personal improvement issues, we've had some callers recently asking for some financial advice. Well, it's not our bread and butter, so to speak. It's not our specialty. I thought maybe we could branch out from what we normally do and just sort of touch on financial topics for a bit. As I'm sure you know, finances can affect relationships in various ways.
Mostly catastrophically.
Sure. I don't think this is episode 503, something like that?
503, yeah.
So, we haven't touched it so far, this topic. We've touched a lot, but we haven't touched this topic. So I figured we'd just go into it a little bit. And just to sort of broach the topic, let's say, what's your favorite currency, Professor?
It's difficult to say at this point. There's a wide variety
Sure.
of currencies that are in circulation in the surviving world post-confluence. There's my personal favorite, and then there's the one that I am the most familiar with, as you're well aware, but a lot of our listeners may not be aware. While we don't receive compensation for the services we provide in this program, a lot of our listeners will send us trinkets, trophies, things of value to them. And without me specifying my preferences, I've received upwards of several hundred teeth from people who have received guidance from us, either directly by calling in or indirectly by listening. And it's mountainous, this mound of teeth. It's truly a thing of beauty, not on any aesthetic level, and not certainly in an olfactory sense. The dental hygiene of our listenership is it's alarming, but the gesture itself is of such a transcendent, immeasurable beauty.
Sure, and I've seen the collection. It's quite breathtaking in multiple ways. And it's certainly something that the teeth collectors of Catalonia, they respect, and they will trade with in vast quantities. But I really would have to say, I like cans just for the bartering You know, they're not technically a currency. I know I'm a little cheating my own topic here just a little bit. I hope you'll forgive me, folks. But cans, really, they have that real luster and shine to them. Anybody can appreciate a good can.
Yeah.
And you can get a good value for one just about anywhere, no matter what's inside. And of course, you have varying rarity of various cans. The harder to get stuff, the potted meats and that sort of thing, are always worth a good bit more than, say, your lima beans or that sort of thing.
Yeah, I must say, your cans in particular, Rad, are spectacular. I mean, I've seen a lot of cans in my life of varying sizes and shapes, but you keep yours really consistently oiled and with just a little bit of glitter. And they really, I cannot stop staring at your cans. I want to be near them. I know you have a strict no touching rule, but I'm only human. I'm just a man.
Oh, they are impressive. I'm glad you admire them as much as I do. I will say that's not glitter though. That's just metal shavings, metal filings from
Grinding.
Mm-hmm. Just sort of remodeling, let's say. Mm-hmm. Sure, I removed all the tables from my can room, and I've converted them into shelves, and that's where a lot of that glitter is coming from. Have you seen my 2 prize cans, by the way?
Which of those? I mean, I've seen so many cans even just
rare.
today.
Yeah, I've never. I may not have showed them to you, but I need to if I haven't. Mm-hmm. They're actually formed out of rock, all natural.
Oh, just all natural. I did see those. I did see that they were just like 2 little rocks, and I thought surely those are artificial. Those were enhanced somehow.
Post confluence, all natural.
Wow.
Straight at the pot.
I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I've been thinking we both have these collections, these beautiful collections, and I can't help but wonder, just from a decorator's perspective, how would you feel about combining the collections? Because I really think, personally, I would enjoy getting my teeth onto your cans.
I can definitely see that. No, but back to the original topic, though. We've talked a little about currency here, and I think we all have had to interact with that at some point or another. But do you have any insights to add with financial issues and money and this currency sort of thing we've been talking about here today? Do you have any insights on that as it pertains to relationships or personal growth? How can I become a better person with these insights into finances?
Currency is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used constructively or destructively. And so if you have a shortage of currency, in your relationship, it can cause stress. If you can't obtain enough paste for sustenance, if you can't obtain enough clean water for hygiene, the lack of currency can be a problem. The presence of currency, however, can do numerous just wonderful things for a relationship. If you have a partner who is withholding physical affection, often the exchange of currency can prime the pump, so to speak, can really entice your partner to be more giving and more open to receiving your expressions in whatever capacity into whatever orifice, figuratively, they possess. That's
some really good insight. Now, would this sort of thing work with, say, someone you're not in a relationship as well?
Almost certainly. Almost certainly. If you can find somebody who is having financial trouble and provide them with enough currency to solve their problems, I found that those people are often the most considerate and generous recipients of the probings of your emotional prowess.
Now, what if you find a second party who isn't interested, and you don't have enough currency to fulfill those needs, but there's a third party you find who is? Mm-hmm. Is there anything you can work with there?
Well, some people just like to watch.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I just like to add in here, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what kind of currency you use, I think an important thing to take from what the professor said is to get as much of it as you can, because the more you have, the more you can do. Mm-hmm. And the more you can do, the more you are. All right, let's go on to the next caller. We got anybody on the line, Professor?
Probably.
And now a word from our sponsor on WSPN The Spoon.
Bullets are a well-known commodity after the days of the confluence, and commodities are worth keeping. You can't sell what they can't shoot, and you can't shoot without a gun. People not only want to steal your commodity, that is bullets, but they also want to steal your guns. That's why we at GPGP are offering our protection of your guns with our guns. Our guns are patent proven to protect more guns than other competitors' guns. Well, you say, how am I going to protect my GPGP patent-pending gun? That's why we made the GPGP Thunder Turbo 2 double-strength power mobility with bullet speed rapid action. If you need protection, look for us. Gun protection, gun protection. That's GPGP Incorporated LLC Incorporated.
We here at WSPN are proud to announce our ever-expanding radio network is now broadcasting to more places. You can now hear us in the Sadlands, the New York of Old Boston, Slavers Bay, Das Fritz Metropolis, the lake with no name, a fissure in space that was once Jacksonville, Athena's Parthenon complex, and Nashville. Thank you to all of our listeners, and thank you for all of your broadcasts. WSPN. The spoon. Our bowl is big enough.
All right, well, I think that's about enough of that guy. Professor, hey, we got anybody else on the line right now?
Let's take a look. Welcome to Radiation Ships. How can we service you?
Yeah, hi, hello. How are you today?
I'm well.
Well, good.
I'm always well.
Trapped in this gas station. I don't quite know what to do about it.
Okay, well, which gas station is this?
Well, it's that Love's off of 40 there.
So it's a literal gas station. It isn't a metaphor for...
Oh, yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm really here.
How many pumps?
There's like, I don't know, 12. Two's on fire. There's one laying across there. I don't know.
Okay. What is the nature of your romantic emergency?
Well, I come, like I say earlier, I come to get the gas here at the pump. And so I go in to pay the lady, and she tried to bite me.
And you weren't into that?
Well, not today.
Okay, were you paying cash?
Oh, yeah.
So you approached a woman waving cash, and she tried to bite you. Is there a chance that she misunderstood your intention? Is she a prostitute?
I don't think she's a hooker, but you never know.
Did you ask? I find when I'm trying to discern whether or not someone is a lady of ill repute, it often helps to ask, are you a prostitute?
It's good to be upfront. It's good to be straightforward.
It's clarity of communication that really minimizes the number of bite wounds that
What
that
am
you
I,
will
some
incur.
kind of schmuck? I'm gonna ask the lady here, what are you? Do you take sex for money? No, I'm not gonna ask her
How
that.
else are you gonna know? I mean, if the professor and I were in that situation and I was approaching him, and I might say something like, "Excuse me, do you accept money in exchange for sex?"
Mm-hmm.
Look, we're missing the point here. I'm trying to get out of this can.
Okay, so just to recap, to make sure we're on the same page, you approached a prostitute, you gave her money, but you were dissatisfied with the services she provided with you because of a lack of clarity on your part.
Well, it's not just on his part, because she did bite him. And
Right.
he didn't say anything about asking for that or paying extra for that.
That is fair. That is on her for
I'm not
being
trying to get
presumptuous.
the sex for the money. You're not listening, son.
Okay.
I'm trying to get gas for the car to get
You
over.
shouldn't be talking with a prostitute. You should probably be at a gas station.
I'm at a gas station, you
That seems
schmuck.
counterproductive.
Look, I'm here. I'm in the gas station now.
Okay.
And all these people keep trying to bite me.
Not just the prostitute.
Well, there's more now. It's like the one lady gets the push and the yelling, and then the
Okay.
more come. I don't know.
Are you trying to obtain gas at a red light district? Are you surrounded by women of ill repute?
No, there's like one little fat kid over there, and there's this one old lady over there trying to get in the door, and then there's these two guys, and there's two dead bodies here holding each other. I got the phone from them. How do I make them stop trying to bite me?
I mean, this might sound obvious, but have you tried paying them?
I tried it with the first one, tried to give her the money for the gas, and she just kept biting.
It's sort of you're thinking sort of like a reverse prostitute.
Well, as the old adage goes, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Have you tried offering these additional prostitutes money to leave you alone?
Look, you just start low. Start low. I don't know what you got there. You got cash. You got goods. Well, whatever you have, just start low. and work your way up and see if you can get them to cut a deal with you.
I have noticed sometimes if a prostitute is becoming too aggressive, sometimes it helps if you offer them intercourse. If the money is not providing the resolution that you desire, perhaps offering a little physical affection that might go a long way.
Okay, fellas, I'm gonna try to put the phone down and to try to give her the money, okay? Hold on just a second.
Great, that's great to hear.
I'm very proud of him. He's demonstrating a willingness to try that too few people these days are willing to.
I just want to get in my car and go on.
Well, they're just not willing to put themselves out there, and try the techniques, the time-tested and proven techniques that we provide with them.
No, lady,
absolutely, Professor, and that's important for all our listeners to know. If you don't listen to the advice we give you, if you don't respond to it accordingly, if you don't follow it by the letter, we can't do much to help you.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, guys.
Now, I should say that we don't guarantee any advice offered on this radio show.
Okay,
what you do and your own choices are on you as a self-realized human or other being.
Okay, well, I tried to open the door and to give her money. But she just kept grabbing and kept grab-assing with me.
Now, was she grabbing for the money?
I don't know. The money fell on the floor, and she kept trying to pull my arm and stuff, and so I had to slam the door on her, and her arm's now on the floor.
Okay. Is her arm still moving?
Well, it's twitching about, but the money's there.
Where intercourse fails, sometimes discourse prevails.
Okay, well, maybe the issue here is maybe we need to take a step back, Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a minute to just sort of see this scene through this caller's eyes. Caller, what was your name again?
Harold.
Harold. All right, Harold. Harold, why don't you tell me what you're seeing right now? What are these? You said there was a little fat kid. Frankly, that's all I can remember right now.
Well,
what does that little fat kid look like?
Well, there was a little fat kid. It looked like he had a Boy Scout uniform on. I don't know, like he was going to some kind of meeting.
All right. Maybe he's trying to get some kind of badge, but that wouldn't really apply to the cashier lady.
Well, I don't know if they have a murder badge or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
There's...
What do these people look like?
I'm going to take a stab at this. Describe to me the skin tone and particularly the composition of the eyes of these people. Are they sort of a grayish, pasty grayish skin color, and do their eyes look faintly cataract?
Do they look like they're walking around without any real drive? Like they've got nothing really behind them? They're just sort of wandering around aimlessly.
They're just kind of jumbling around looking for stuff. I don't know.
Okay, jumblies. We got some jumblies here.
Jumblies. Now, for our listeners, jumblies is a pejorative term for a demographic known as the trans dead. Now, these are people. These are human beings or former human beings whose metabolic processes have ceased, but who still feel deeply within them that they are alive, even though to a regressive society they would be considered dead. And even though their ambulatory skills are compromised, people would like to refer to them as jumblers or shamblers. The trans dead are they're people like you and like me. They just, crave flesh.
Well, you see that, Professor, but I'd like to hop in here, because they're definitely not people like me. I mean, these people, if you can call them that, from what I've heard, they just wander around. They don't have any real drive. They're not interested in gathering any. I mean, we were talking about financials early. They don't care about money. They're just one big conglomerate focused on stealing our brains.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's important to remember that the trans dead, while there are key differences between, say, you, Rad, and the trans dead, these are highly curious people. Society has written them off as deceased. They still feel a compunction towards motion and eating, but above all things, they're a curious people. They're very, very curious because their hearts don't beat, their lungs don't expand and contract, but they want those things. And to get an understanding of those things, their curiosity compels them to examine us, those of us that still have metabolic proceedings. They want to explore us. They want to take their hands. They don't want to just know that we have beating hearts. They want to use their hands to remove all encumbrances, to remove the shroud of flesh that conceals from their eyes that which propels us forward.
Well, I think we might have to agree to disagree on this one, Professor, because as far as I'm concerned, these are just a bunch of parasites trying to feed off the rest of society. Caller, if you could.
Boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, caller.
Listen, I just want to get back to my car to see my wife.
Right. Yeah, then let's get back to that. Let's get focused here. You're dealing with a whole load of jumblies there. How many would you say there are
I don't
total?
know. There's 5 or 6 of them.
In order to get out to your car, how many are you going to have to go through?
Maybe 4.
Now, you mentioned a fire earlier. Is that anywhere nearby, or is that out near the pump still?
Oh, the fire is outside. What am I gonna have to go out there and get the fire? They're gonna get me before I get down there.
Well, we're just exploring our options here. Let's see what we have. We got an arm.
I got an arm, and there's another couple of arms on these people.
Got some money. Got a few extra arms. So what else do you have around you that you think you can work with at the moment?
I mean, there's the stuff in the store. I guess I could get out and go get something. What am I gonna throw a Twizzler at her?
Well, you can definitely try that. What do you think, Professor? Like a Twizzler Garrett or something?
So what I believe needs to happen right now is the Transdead are, despite their appearances and despite their hungers and curiosities, they are a respectful people, and I think perhaps you have sent them some mixed messages. To you or I, no means no.
How did I send them the mixed message? I barely talked to them.
Well, sometimes, they say no means no, but we all know that sometimes no means yes. And I think you need to make it clear to them that you do not consent to any kind of biting, any kind of skin ripping, any kind of gnawing on your bone matter. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to set the phone down. I want you to walk out into the gas station and say, I, Harold, am a human being, and I do not consent to your aggressive treatment of me.
All right, well, I'm going to go do that now and go catch my wife and get out of here.
All right.
Good deal. Thank you very much for calling, caller.
I'm going to keep this phone and this number, too.
No, please do.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah, please do. All right.
All right.
Thank you, caller. Well, Professor, I think that was a very
It was very satisfying on a personal level. There's not a magic bullet for solving all problems, which are very hard to come by. Perhaps the rarest of all currencies.
It's true. Yeah, there's only a few bullets that are gonna rival that in terms of. So, going back to this caller, he maybe wasn't in tune with the rest of the show with our premise initially, where we were talking about finances and currency and that sort of thing. There were some issues there, definitely dealt with financial issues, but I think it goes back to highlight why we are the type of show we are and why we focus on the issues we do, because the real root of the problem, aside from issues with payment or who costs what, it's really an issue about listening.
It's true. You need to make a decisive decision, which small decisions, while they seem small to us, have massive, more lasting effect. They're like magic potions. And as Sun Tzu said in Ra is War, not this man. He's got the right potion. Baby, rub it down and make it smooth like lotion. Yeah, the ritual. Which ultimately speaks to the triumph of the human spirit.
You're listening to Radiation Ships, a massage for your love muscle. But first, buy this stuff.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Glad you could make it.
Hello.
Thanks for stopping by. Hey, you. This is a real treat. Howdy.
Hello.
Oh, wow. What a nice surprise that you were here.
How have you been?
How long's it been? Far too long. Right.
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy.
Didn't see you there. How's everything with you? Sup, bro? Greetings. Shake my hand. Bow, curtsy. Could I offer your pick of choice from this Olive's Matter live platter? Hellos are never complete without the comforting glow of a traditional live olive platter. For as long as anyone can remember, the plantation has been at the cutting edge of culinary soup science. We have reinvented the wheel with thousands of breakthrough forms of olive cultivation and initiation. Our tireless trackers and trainers scour part of an area to recover compelling substances used in processes from this dimension to beyond the furthest reaches of your own false sense self.
How have you been?
Our trademark Green Goo Bio Olive Stuff Collector and Recovery Machine, or Goo Ostrom for short, make sure each bite of olive matter bio stuff tastes somewhere close to the expectation your tongue has for flavor. Tapas Pizza Gin Martini. It's your home. It's your drink. It's our green lifelike biomatter. Olives matter. Connect. Co-opt. Consume.
We now return to radiation ships, already in progress, on WSPN. The Spoon.
Inverted perineum, which is, of course, simply a matter of the proper attitude. Let's go ahead and take another caller. Hello there. How can we service you?
I'm sorry. I'm not used to talking on the radio. My name is Marthy. I am 69 years young, and I'm recently widowed, and I'm just looking for some advice about how to get myself back out there, and maybe the best way to go about getting my romantic opportunities in line, but without, opening myself up for too much heartbreak.
Well, first, I'd like to offer my heartfelt condolences on your loss. How long were you and your husband married?
And how do you bite it?
Well, we were together. We were together 52 years. Very, very sweet man. A bit of a penny pincher, but that's okay. That's okay. No, he recently passed. It was quite tragic. He was attacked. And
that's not uncommon. Let me just say, jump in here really quickly. Sorry to interrupt, but we're doing kind of a little financial advice section of the show today. So I know normally we do personal and relationship growth, but I just wanted to throw out there, if you have any financial questions or anything like that of that nature, feel free to throw those in as well.
I mean, I don't have many financial questions now. I don't have to worry about, getting myself an earful for picking up a pair of really slick sandals, So, my financial situation is a little more lenient than it once was, don't you know?
Now, did you hear that, Professor? Because I think I might have picked up on something there. We were talking about finances as it relates to relationships earlier, and what the caller just said here. Marthy, was that it?
Yes,
now,
yes, you got it,
As she said, she doesn't have to catch an earful for purchases.
And that's something I hear a lot in our calls. There's an aggressive subset of our callers that think that they can solve their problems by just cramming things metaphorically into the ears of people. And I want to caution our listeners, never put anything, a loud voice, a phallic object, anything pointy into the ears of someone with whom you're trying to communicate. It can really only end in disaster.
It's incredibly dangerous.
That is so true, and even speaking from recent experience, when I put the phone to my ear, I got a little bit there was some brain matter left on the phone, and so it kind of got in my ear there for a little bit, but I got it out. But you're so right, you don't want to put anything that, my mom always said, nothing no bigger than your elbow,
Yeah, it's funny because you can't put it on, you can't reach your ear with your elbow.
You can't. Isn't science funny?
Can you not?
Have you never tried that? I spent a week one time.
The last month or so, I've spent a lot of time in the yoga studio, and I've become quite bendy.
I would assume there are exceptions to every rule, Professor, and if I know anything about you, you are almost always the exception to the rule.
So, Marthy?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You mentioned you're looking for companionship. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Specifically, what are you looking for in a potential mate?
Well, I loved my husband. I'm looking for, a bit of a change. I want somebody who, likes to have fun. He doesn't mind, going out from time to time, maybe getting a nice dinner, or, isn't too afraid of maybe taking a ballroom dancing class, or, isn't immediately shocked by the sight of a ball gag or something like that. So, I like an event adventurous personality and and a little bit of stamina. Because like I said, I'm 69 years young, and I like to go out and do things.
Right, yeah.
Sure. And I just take it from the way you've been speaking here that your ex-husband, your late husband, that he wasn't the adventurous sort, a more conservative type, less willing to sort of let his hair down metaphorically.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if he had long hair or not.
No, he wasn't the Fabio type, he's missing a bit. But, no, he wasn't, it's just that when situations would arise, he wasn't that good on his feet. And, I like putting myself in a situation where I might have to get a scrap to get out of it. And he just wasn't the type. He'd get so flabbergasted and frustrated, and he'd yell at folks, and that's not the kind of person I want to take up with. At this stage in my life, I don't have room for that type of negativity.
Sure, I can definitely understand that. Positivity is very important. It's infectious, just like negativity is, and it's a bit like a disease, right, Professor?
Absolutely.
You don't want to catch any negativity. So, those are obviously your late husband's failing points. What did you get out of that relationship previously that maybe you would like to see again? Other than adventurous, is there anything from that previous relationship that you would like to try to recreate in the new one?
Well, I did like he was stable. You could always expect, basically the same thing from him. Now, I'm not saying I want boring, but, it's nice to know what to expect from the person that you're with. You want somebody flying off the handle at a drop of a hat. But, I did appreciate he did have, really good knowledge of automobiles, and he was pretty handy, so fixing things around the house was good. Now, while he wasn't good on his feet, if you gave him a problem, he would work at it, until he figured it out. Of course, that didn't help him in the end, but,
Okay, so I think I'm getting a little bit of a picture here. Tell me if this sounds like what you're hearing, Professor. You're looking for somebody who's stable, predictable. They have a good head on their shoulders for just every day, going through the slog, and they're always going to be there for you, and they're a rock. And on the other hand, he needs to be someone who's adventurous and unpredictable, and might do something surprising at any given moment. Does that sound about what you're hearing, Professor?
That's a good picture.
It sounds reasonable to me.
Exactly like that. It's like my favorite book. I loved that. My favorite book in the world, and the hero was just the best personality you could find, and he was so attractive, so handsome and smooth. Have you ever read Jekyll and Hyde?
I can't say I've done much reading in the past few years. That not ringing a bell for me.
Well, now, son, that's a shame. You have to pick up books. Books is our history. You can't let books go away now. I know lots of things has happened, but you got to keep reading. You can't be listening to everything that's coming over the airwaves.
I couldn't agree with you more. I haven't read the particular tome you were referencing. I've spent quite a bit of time working my way through a historical romance series called Amelia Bedelia, and it's been eye-opening and just timelessly
now,
cherished.
I heard about that. I think it was on one of them book lists, wasn't it?
I gotta say, my Israel book's not that great. Last one I read, I honestly got kind of mad at it, threw it in the furnace. Kept, turn to page 84, you fall down a cliff. Turn to page 83, you fall up a cliff. It's just like, no matter what you did, you kept dying, and that's just not realistic.
Yeah, it's important with books, as with ideas, as with all of your relationships. If you reach an impasse and you're just horribly displeased, destroy it with a source of heat, a furnace, as you mentioned. Matches. Leave it exposed to radiation for a long period of time.
I've always found, anyway, that the ideas you get from books can't really be trusted. You're better off just, going with how you feel.
Yeah.
That's where the best ideas come from. Anyway, we're getting off topic. I'm enjoying this conversation. No, you are absolutely fine, man.
I stepped in something. Well, we gotta get somebody out here clean up these bodies. They can't be rotting out here for goodness.
I'm sorry, you said you stepped in some bodies?
Oh, there's just a couple stuff lepers lying around on the ground. It's fine. It happens. It happens. And, they was coming at me. I had nothing else I could do about it, so I had to take them down, like
Sure.
you do.
Like you do. Absolutely.
I had the moves I learned from my Zumba class that I take on Wednesdays down at the community center. Did me a little hip swivel and raise my leg up about hip height. Gave him a good wallop and. I got him out my way. It wasn't too hard.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sounds like you're way around the waist.
Mm-hmm.
So let's narrow down here. We know who you're looking for. We got an idea of sort of what you're looking for in terms of a little more adventure maybe in your life. Now, where are you located? Are you north, Sadlands, south? Where are we looking at?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't rightly tell you right now. I'm looking around, and I'm at... Now, see, my husband had the map. He knew where we were headed, and we stopped... we're here at the gas station. Well, I should say were, bless his soul. But,
You don't think it could...
There's
no way, right?
That is no. I just have to say it. That is truly commendable. Truly commendable.
That's really amazing.
Time and again spoken with callers who just refuse to move on once their loved ones have departed, and they just mourn for hours and hours and hours.
Well, there ain't much you can do about it.
There's not. There's truly not. So let me be the first to commend you on your bravery, your pragmatism, and your determination to move on and find a new lover. Now, you say you spend some time at the community center.
I do every week.
Okay. Are there gentlemen at the community center, or perhaps some handsome ladies?
Well, look at you getting fresh. No, I don't know because my eye never wandered that way. Whilst I was married. Now, there is one or two, semi-attractive young men that, not many come in to take the Zumba class because, they don't like moving their hips that way. They say it feels awkward and whatever. But there's one or two that come in and, now, I do see a couple that like to, they play chess in the corner, and there might be one that I'd say I could take a spark to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It does sound like there's a fairly limited selection, and as I like to keep reminding people, happiness in love is a numbers game. You want you want to be like the train stations of old, comings and goings, crowds of people. You want to fill up your time with as many potential suitors as possible. So, in addition to the community center, you can start visiting churches. There are druidic gatherings in the woods that are useful. But here's actually a tip that I think you would be really well suited for. There are a number of companionship-based telephone services in the Greater Sandlands area. Using the services is one great way to meet people, but I like to tell callers who have your spunk and your spark, you'll actually meet a lot of potential suitors if you work for one of those services. Now, there's a number of them. There's So Lady Yao.
Hold on a minute. Let me just, hold on. I got it. I'm trying to step over I'm getting up to the counter. I got to get, my memory ain't quite what it was. I want to get me a pen and pencil and a paper.
That's good.
Write down some of these. Now, you said so... What was the first one you said, babe?
So Lady Yao.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's also So Lady Wow.
Okay.
And my personal favorite, Ro Katie Zhao.
But they do like their rhymes, don't they?
Mm-hmm. They do.
Okay. All right. I'll just...
Good deal. And I'll have to say, I just want to add something in here with what the professor's saying. I think you got a good starting point there because you're looking for somebody special. And so you don't want to limit yourself to, just the people at that rec center. You got to throw that net wide. And by actually going on one of these phone services, you can get calls from all over the region, really. So I think that's a really good insight for all our listeners out there. Anybody who's looking for a long-term relationship, anybody who's looking to find someone special to replace someone they've lost, because you got to replace them somehow. And why not start at one of these phone services?
Well, I could. I'm always looking for a new hobby.
It'd be an adventure, right?
It would. I could. I think I could go for that.
Well, great.
Oh goodness. Sorry, baby. I was trying to get his wallet out of his pocket, and I stepped on his hand. It cracked a little bit.
Well, he probably won't mind.
No, you won't now, will he? No, he won't.
No.
That's a good one. I might have to remember
Life's
that.
for a living, right? All right, let's go ahead and wrap this call up. Thank you very
You know
much
what,
for calling.
honey? Wait one more second. Now, before I let you boys go, can any one of you tell me how to operate a car? You knew it's been a little while for me. I went and got his keys out of his pocket, but I can't quite remember how to get it to go, don't you know?
Okay, yeah, sure. You're gonna see those keys. There's definitely keys. I don't know. I haven't really played much around the motor pool. It's been a while for me too, frankly.
Like a go button.
I think there's probably there's got to be a button somewhere,
There's
right?
definitely,
Well,
yeah.
there ain't no harm in just pushing something till it works, is there?
I think that's probably true. The keys I feel like are important though, so you're probably gonna want to use those.
I got them. Now, I remember that much. I remember the noise they make before the car went, so I remembered I needed them, but I'll figure it out. It's all right. Thank you, though.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Yeah, this is a pleasure.
The indomitability of the human spirit. It
Absolutely.
never ceases to amaze and inspire me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that woman's got a bright, brief but bright future ahead of her.
Absolutely. And she's looking up. She's looking like she's gonna try to take a new path in life.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make something of herself. And as we end today's show, I thinking back over what we talked about today, something that sticks out to me with this caller is that she's taking a new path in life. She's looking at a new avenue of employment, and now she can do whatever she wants financially. Mm-hmm. And that's a big part of personal growth, I think. That's a big part. Because we are what we do, right, Professor?
Absolutely.
And if you have resources, you have the resources to travel. If you have the resources to explore and have new adventures, well, of course you're going to become a better person. Mm-hmm. And the more you have, the better you are.
The better you are.
All right, well, that'll do it for today. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Professor?
No, I don't.
All right, listeners, well, that's all for today for Radiation Ships. I am Rad Flink. With me, as always, the Professor.
That's me.
Don't come looking for us.